This book, authored by our next guest. In it, he warns our country is, well, poised for a massive attack on our economy, and our government has done absolutely nothing to prepare following the 2008 financial crisis. Joining us is New York Times bestselling author Kevin Freeman. The new book, Game Plan, How to Protect Yourself in the Coming Cyber Economic Attack. Kevin, good to have you with us. Congratulations on your book. A certainty that we're going to experience a massive and, by definition, effective cyber attack. How worried should we be? How soon do you think it's coming?
We should be very worried. Everyone from General Alexander on 60 Minutes about 3 weeks ago to the Janet Napolitano at Homeland Security, everyone agrees that something is going to happen. Our enemies have the intention of attacking us. There's a financial cyber Pearl Harbor that's coming, but yet Americans are acting like they want to buy beach condos and take surf lessons in Oahu.
I have talked about cyber attacks with a man who I've got great respect for, Arno Dvorgarov, former head of UPI and Newsweek magazine. He's written on this issue, thought about it deeply for decades. What is the cyber attack? How will it, in your judgment, be manifested? What would be its impact?
We actually covered in the book Game Plan, I talk about multiple types of economic attacks, cyber being one of them. A cyber attack could be like we had to happen at Target, where 40 million credit cards were stolen. It could be intended to crash the New York Stock Exchange, like with the flash crash, or with the Syrian Electronic Army when they did the mini flash crash just by hacking the AP Twitter feed. And
what can individual investors do to protect themselves? Because by definition, that all of that money is in a virtual world sitting on the World Wide Web.
No question. And what we need to do to protect ourselves, because the government is not protecting us, is you've got to keep incredible records. You have to diversify broadly. You don't want to have everything in the U.S. dollar, because that's subject to attack by the Chinese as well. You need to back up everything. Nobody gets stock certificates out anymore. They're all held in trust. But if you're going to leave them there, you've got to have excellent records to prove what you own what you own.
And having that, we still have the issue of, as we're watching institutions be attacked themselves, be hacked, all of that information is floating out there, much of it under the control of the bad guys. Why won't government react? Is it simply beyond their capacity, their means?
I think they're overwhelmed with it. The government's reacted nicely to protect our missile silos and some of our defense systems, but even those have been hacked. The White House has been hacked. But it's not just cyber. There are other types of economic attacks. We've seen attacks on the power grid, and if the electricity grid went down for any length of time, it could destroy our economy. And that's the key point. Al-Qaeda, elements in the PLA in China, and others would like to see the American economy fail.
They would like to see it fail. And the degree to which you think we are prepared. The electrical grid without cyber attack it seems to be at the very least enfeebled and teetering often on the verge of collapse just because of the drainage on the grid itself.
Oh, no question. The Texas power grid with the cold snap was pushed to the limit, and they were talking about brownouts and blackouts. What if an EMP went off, or a solar flare that caused a serious problem knocking out part of the power grid? There are a lot of economic threats that we have, and the reason I wrote Game Plan is they vary in type and nature, and if you're going to respond, you can't respond to a passing play as a football defense with a rush defense. You have to be prepared to change your defense depending on the attack.
Kevin Freeman, we thank you for being here. Kevin is the author of Game Plan. It's available online in bookstores near you. And Kevin, good to have you with us. And we'll have this up on BlueDobbs.com. We recommend it to you highly.